It is Tuesday, September 2nd, and I'm here with Pumpkin. I'm T. Waldron. This is my cat, Pumpkin. You want to say hi, Pumpkin? Can you turn around so they can see your face? No? Okay. It's okay. She's right here for you. So we have been discussing self-worth and worthiness and how to, I don't know, how do we assess how we're doing? So we talked about that the past few days, and I wanted to discuss today worthiness, because for the longest time I did not feel worthy. For 50 years of my life, I felt like I was at the mercy of the world. I was responding. I was reacting rather than taking my time and thinking about how I was going. I wasn't responding. I was reacting. And I had a deep subconscious feeling that I was defective. I was not enough. Have you ever felt that? Because it's kind of baked in the cake. We are told, oh, you know what? You need this car to feel your best, to be the best. You need this, whatever, food, or this outfit, or whatever, or else you're not the best. So by feeling unworthy, by telling us these messages in advertising and getting us to buy things and feel afraid, we develop a sense of unworthiness in our subconscious. So I was incomplete, and all the reading and thinking I had been doing never changed this feeling within me. So I don't know if you ever felt that way, if you ever felt like, you know what, everybody else has it better. And I said that the other day, the grass is always greener, right? We always have that feeling. No, some of us have that feeling, oh, they've got it all together. And we never really know what's happening with people. So that's not true. But it's only when I started taking steps, active steps, to become the best person I could be, is when I started to examine these feelings and really, like, where did they come from? And I was actually mad at people or things that in the past that did that to me. Like who why would somebody say that or do that? And I had to get over that, because everything is a gift. Everything is a teaching experience. So when I realized all of these things led me to where I am today, then I was appreciative. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm glad that happened, because now I'm stronger for it, or I learned something from it. So by doing difficult things consistently over a period of time, my subconscious got the message: I am worthy. I'm not defective. I'm not a problem. And that's hard, because we don't even, like, I just had the sense, I had the feeling something was off, and I never really could put a finger on it. And now I realized that was just a subconscious kind of just the way that it was, and I thought I had to be that way in life. So now I realize I'm worthy, I'm okay, I'm good, I'm working hard. Now, there are two components that I use to change from this feeling of inadequacy to adequacy, and I want to just share those with you today. So number one, and I just talked about that, doing difficult things consistently. I used to feel like a victim, like, oh, I'm addicted to fast food, so I'm going to keep driving, and I'm going to go to Wendy's, and I'm going to eat it, and then I'm more addicted because the food, the chemicals in that fast food make me addicted. And basically, whenever you see yourself as a victim, you are giving away your power, which is something kind of counterintuitive. You think, oh, I'm the victim, though. It happened to me. But if you can possibly reframe the way you think of that and think, I'm not going to be victimized by that. I am taking my power. I'm in control. I make my own decisions. They're hard. There are addictive qualities in the food, of course. And the advertising pushes us to go to eat that fast food or eat that candy bar or whatever is unhealthy for us. But ultimately, if we're adults and we have free will, which we do, it's up to us to choose healthy choices, right? Or avoid it. And that was another thing. And I didn't write this down, but in this society, here in America anyway, I'm not sure about the rest of the world, and I'd be curious if it's the same in different countries, we are always taught to search for adding, like, oh, if I'm gonna, try to eat healthy, I'm gonna add in some fruit, or I'm gonna add in some whatever. I had to stop and cut things out, because if we keep adding and adding and adding, we don't clear space for change. So by cutting things out, by simplifying, by not going to the store 6 days a week, by going to the store 1 day a week, and if I missed it, I would just wait till the next week and try to find stuff in the house that I could use. That was a good exercise in being frugal, efficient, and then also it with self-control. So does that resonate with you guys? I'm not seeing anybody chatting, so hopefully my chat's not broken, because usually by now somebody says something. But good morning to everybody. If you want to just type a hi in there, then I'll know it's working. Okay, so like I said, there were two components I used to stop feeling inadequate, and one of them is doing difficult things on a consistent basis. And now I decide what gets my time and attention and what doesn't. My subconscious got the message, because the more we do that sort of stuff, the more that we get up and go to the gym, the more that we make the healthy choices, then our subconscious says, oh, you know what? She does love me. She does love herself. So that's important. And we can't just phone it in. It has to be genuine. Oh, good morning. Oh, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Okay, good. So my chat's working. Okay. So yeah, my subconscious feels empowered. Okay. Now, the second thing that helped me realize, okay, there's not something defective here. Okay. Good morning, Jim. Welcome. Was being 100% honest, and this is very important to me. Searching for truth and searching for what is honest, what is true, and not falling for things that are fake. Now, that also applies to doing things in your life. How do you move in the world? Are you always honest? I had gone to the grocery store, and I left with a item on the bottom of my cart, and I got to my car, nobody stopped me, but I went back in and paid for it, and that was important. We have to live with ourselves. So being honest, even when no one's looking, that is important. If this is important to you, then you'll want to do that all the time. Good morning, Nicholas. Good to see you. So being 100% honest. Another example was, so I was in Florida last week, and I rented a car, and I said, I'm going to get myself a nice car, which I said I've never done this before. So I got a Mercedes, and I said, wow, this is really exciting. And I was so careful. I was parking far away, and I would park in a space where there was one, like on the side, so only one other car would be next to me. And I got back to the car one day, and I saw there was a little dent in it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So, and at that point I'm like, oh, this is going to be terrible. I didn't get the extra insurance. You run through all these things in your mind, right? So I returned the car, and I said, you know what, I'm going to tell this woman when I check it in what happened and show her the thing. And she goes, oh, that's not a big deal. It's okay. We don't charge for small, tiny things like that. I was like, thank you. But I had already made the decision to tell her. So that was showing my subconscious that I believe in honesty. Yeah, being honest is almost the only thing we have nowadays. Yeah, I agree, Jeff. We have to be honest. I mean, we don't have to be. You could scam the system. I was thinking, part of me was like, well, maybe I just won't tell her, and I'll, and I said, no, you know what? I'm only cheating myself by being dishonest or hiding things or not being forthright. Okay? That's only hurting us. So you owe it to yourself, to be kind to yourself. This is part of self-love, because I know we're getting to self-love, but this whole getting to know yourself business, there's a lot to it. So I know I said I would talk about this, the other stuff one day, but it's been like 4 days now. We're still talking about it, but it's important. Yeah. Yeah, you would have flipped out if it was your car. Sure. Yeah, no, it was disconcerting. I was like, wow, but you know what? And that was it. The old me would have flipped out. I would have been like, oh my God, do you believe this? I just said, okay, this happened. There's nothing I can do about it now. There's nothing you know, the person didn't leave a note or anything. So I just said, okay, I'm just gonna go about my life, because by me getting upset and really angry and flipping out, doesn't, it only hurts me and wastes my night. Then it would have put me in a bad mood for the night. So I said, oh, I'll just deal with it when I return the car, and that was it. So it worked out. So, hi DeWitt, welcome. Hi Quentin, welcome. Hi Mazda, good morning. Quentin, thank you. All right, so does that make sense? I'm curious if that makes sense to everybody. So by telling your, you know, by acting in the world as your best self, by doing the difficult things, by being completely honest, that shows you're self-conscious, you're worthy, and you're not just worthy, you're awesome. So I hope that helps. Yeah, I'm glad you think it makes sense. Thank you so much. So the past few days I have forgotten to do our deep breathing. So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna join me if you can, you know, pause the chat for a sec. Just close your eyes for a sec if you're not driving. And we're gonna take a few deep breaths in and hold it, and then exhale and hold it out, because that regulates our nervous system. Good, I'm glad you think it makes sense. And here we go. So let's inhale through our nose and hold it. And exhale through our mouth. Hold it out. And inhale. Hold it. And exhale. We're slowing our breath down. With every breath, I want you to think about inhaling clean, beautiful, healing energy. Inhale. Good. And exhale. This is something you're doing just for you. One more set together. Inhale. Good. And exhale. Okay, thank you. Yeah, this cat, thank you. Pumpkin, they think you're adorable. She is, she knows it. Hi, Learn English. Great handle. Oh, dropping off your son at school. Good luck with that. Yeah, I'm 55. So I'm going to sign off. I just wanted to see what you think about that. Does that make sense to you? Does doing difficult things in your life and then being honest, do you find that that gives you a good sense of yourself? And does that make you feel good? Yeah. Great. Thank you. Thanks, Cyrillic. Okay. All right. So thank you all. I appreciate this. I appreciate the chat. I'm glad it makes sense. And I will see you tomorrow. We'll talk about other things. I'm going to do a longer live probably over the weekend. And this stuff has led to my quest to learn how to manifest. So I don't know if that's important to you guys, but I'll tell you what. I was just on that week-long retreat, and much of the meditation, it taught me in scientific background too, on manifesting, that we create our own reality. So it's phenomenal. So I want to share some of the concepts, not the actual teachings, because that's, you know, copyrighted, but some of the ideas that we create our reality. And by not being the victim, by owning everything, by owning our choices, by owning our actions, you can create a beautiful life. Okay, so thank you so much. Hey, Abdurrahim, welcome. We're taking off now. So I'm heading out to yoga. I hope you have a great day. And from myself to yourself, thanks for joining me on this journey. And I'm here 8 a.m. weekdays, Eastern Standard Time, and I don't know yet. I'm thinking 8 p.m. on the weekends. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great day. Bye. You want to say goodbye, Pumpkin? Can you say goodbye? No? Okay, she's a cat. She's going to do what she's going to do. Okay, bye.